The NBA, as we know it, is dead. The NBA is dead. Ratings are bad. And we can kind of maybe account the ratings to an election year, right? Anytime that there's a presidential election, ratings kind of flip-flop for the NBA. But I don't think that that's the problem. Those can be able to be recovered and they can bounce back from that, right? But the NBA just signed a big TV rights deal. It's like $76 billion across multiple different platforms. But you sign this big historic deal, but yet the interest of your game is waning. It was waning to the point where you have to install a in-season tournament. The NBA Cup, it was pretty good last year, but why is it not holding the ratings still? Why are people still disinterested in basketball? It's because over the years, we've said that the NBA doesn't make divisions count. Now I'm hearing rumors that Adam Silver wants to take away the conferences and just have the top 16 teams make the playoffs. What is this, the WNBA? The reason why the WNBA does it because they ain't got enough teams. There's 30 teams in the NBA. You need conferences and divisions, and you need to make sure that divisions count instead of all of this other bullshit that's going on. This is why people are frustrated with the game. They know that watching game 11 or game 9 or game 15 means nothing. Watching a game on TNT on a Wednesday or a Thursday, it means nothing in November. Here's the biggest problem that the NBA is having. It's the actual game in itself. It's boring. I myself have been a basketball fan my entire life. The only reason why I'm excited about this season is just to see my Lakers and JJ Redick and how they play. I tend to not be interested in other games that are on. I will watch it because I have to cover it. But in regards to some enjoyment, I don't find enjoyment in this basketball. You know why? Because everybody and their mama chucks threes. It's a three-point shooting game. You got teams that throw up 63s a game. They shoot more threes than they shoot twos. It's not enjoyable to watch. The NBA used to be a sport that you see athleticism on display. If everybody's shooting threes, then what makes the NBA different than Pee Wee basketball? What makes it different than the WNBA? What makes it different than college? What makes it different than rec ball? What makes it different than any other sport or any other league that's not the greatest athletes in the world? Seeing guys dunk, seeing guys play great defense, seeing how guys can be able to be three-tier scorers. You're not seeing that anymore. Everything's a three. Crazy statistics is that back in the 80s, the average three-point attempt per team was like 6. You go into the 90s, that increased to like 13. You go into the 2000s, so there in regards to like maybe the mid-teens. You go into the 2010s, it's into the 20s. Now we're into the 2030s, and we're averaging 37 attempts per team. We have the defending NBA champs right now. They take like 53s a game. How is that fun? Who would want to watch that? Who's going to want to watch all of this dribble, 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 shoot threes, step back threes at that? Back in the day, we had specialists, guys like Dan Marley, Steve Kerr, Tony Kukoc, Peja Stojakovic, Del Curry. All of these guys were specialists that shot the three. So when those guys came in the game, they ran plays and tried to get them shots behind the arc within the flow of the game. Now, if you're not shooting 13 threes as a superstar per game, they look at the statistics and all of these analytics as it's a bad shot. A 2-point shot is a bad shot. What the fuck are we doing? Adam Silver needs to figure something out. I've heard Nick Wright say it, that maybe there needs to be a restriction, that you can't shoot so many threes in a game. They should cap you at 30. And then you have to figure it out. Once you hit your cap, you got to figure it out after there. You can probably be able to make a 3-point basket outside of an and one. Maybe a dunk costs 3 points in the final 5 minutes of the game or some shit. Make it different. But to just chuck 73s a game and then to tell us that this is basketball, to have a guy like James Harden be second all time in 3-point makes, it's embarrassing. And I'm not even throwing shade at him, but it's just the microcosm of the game itself is that we live in an era where I'm not shocked that a guy like James Harden is second all time in threes, because that's all he took during his career. What happened to basketball? What happened to strategically trying to get shots off, mid-range shots, pick and roll, get into the paint, see the guy sagging off a little bit and take a jump shot? Everything's a dribble, 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 step back 3. Take the screen 3. On the transition, somebody, instead of them running to the rim, they run to the 3-point line. That's not fun. That's not showcasing your athletes' athleticism and how special they are in regards to how the game has evolved physically. That's why ratings are down. That's why the interest level of the NBA is down, because it's the quality of the actual game. You can be able to put in all of these different things. In-season tournament, you can have the All-Star game, be some tournament, 3-on-3, whatever you want to do. It's not going to change the fact that people watch the NBA on a Monday and they can't get through a game. They can watch the first quarter maybe, they can't finish it. Because the first quarter looks a lot like the third quarter, and the second quarter looks a lot like the fourth quarter. It's all the same shit. No team plays different anymore. It's all threes. Threes. It's not basketball. Where's the strategy? Everybody plays different defense the same. Switch on everything. Don't fight through screens. Have the big guy guarding the small guy. That's not basketball. And as Adam Silver, if he's the commissioner, if he's in charge of the competitive balance or whatever the hell it is, fix it. Because you have this big TV rights deal. You have interest going down. Your product is going to be in big trouble. Because if people rather watch hockey than the NBA, you might not ever get close to a $70 billion deal again. People are telling you without necessarily telling you that the product that you're putting out there is not acceptable. Fix it. I've given you some tips to fix it. Restrict the line. Allow dunks to be 3 points. Have a 2-minute thing where points are a little different within 2 minutes. Do something. that's going to be able to generate the interest back in the game. Because right now, as a lifetime basketball fan, I don't care.